Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitāmrita overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharon Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Yam Shri Guru Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadhutam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishamanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. We are discussing from Chaitanya Charitāmrita, Madhya Lila. We are on chapter 4. So in this chapter, Kaviraj Goswami is describing the tour of Lord Sri Chaitanya, the travels of Lord Sri Chaitanya from Mayapur, Navadvip, on the way to Jagannath Puri. So in the previous chapter, we heard how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Nityanand Prabhu tricked him, brought him back to Shantipur. There he met with all the devotees and stayed at the house of Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya, wonderful prasad, and fed him. And then all the devotees from Navdeep came, headed by Shachi Mata. And then they stayed and they were so very happy to be with Mahaprabhu again. And then on request of Shachi Devi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his residence, his headquarters as Jagannath Puri. And then he is walking to Jagannath Puri. On the way, he came to a place called as Remuna. And there Mahaprabhu is telling the story which he heard from Ishwar Puri, his spiritual master. So this Remuna is famous for the devotional service of Madhavendra Puri. That is the 4th chapter. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts from the beginning. How Madhavendra Puri was so very detached. He was staying in Vrindavan, and one day he was ayachaka. He did not beg. Whatever would come of its own accord, he would take. So one day it so happened that he didn't take anything for few days. A very young, beautiful, small boy came and he brought a pot of milk. And he said, Oh, oh Sadhu Maharaj, why are you not taking anything? In my village, nobody goes hungry. Some people they beg, some people they take milk, and if somebody doesn't beg, I personally give him. And in that way, the small boy said, I have brought milk for you, please take, and I'll come back and take the pot again. So we have discussed till verse number 47. Just a minute. Slideshow. Okay. So Gopal deity revealed himself, appeared in dream of Madhavendra Puri, and he told Madhavendra Puri that I am staying in this bush. So it so happened Madhavendra Puri, he took that milk and he was waiting for the boy. He didn't come. He was chanting whole night and then he dozed off. And then in the dream, the same boy came. And that boy was Gopal himself. He said, I am staying in this bush and there is so much of suffering here. It's cold. rains, heat, wind. Please take me out of this place. Please get people from village, bring people from village and take me out of this place. And then he says, Oh Madhavipuri, Madhavendra I am waiting for you since long. Bahudin Tomarapat Kari Nirikshan, Kabayasi Madhav More Koribo Sevan. Tomara Prema Vashe Kori Sevangikar. Darshana Diya Nistariba Sakala Sansar. So that's how he says that I want to deliver the whole world. So then Madhavendra Puri, he woke up and then he started lamenting. He said, I had darshan of Supreme Lord Krishna. I could not identify him. I'm so fortunate. I'm so unfortunate. But he cried and then he became steady again. Shane karodana kori man koila sthir agya palanagi hila susthir. So devotees, they control their ecstasies when it comes to service. So then 47th verse says that Madhavendra Puri took his bath and he entered the village, assembled all the villagers, and then he told them that this Govardhan Dhari, he is the proprietor of the village. And he is lying in the bush there in the jungle nearby. Please come and get all the spade and choppers, and we will clear the way and we'll find this deity. So all the people, they accompanied Madhavendra Puri and they started clearing off the way. They started cutting off the bushes and the trees and the creepers. And then they entered deep inside the jungle. And there they found the beautiful deity of Gopal covered with dirt and grass. They were really astonished to see this beautiful deity of Gopal. And after this deity was found, everyone, they were so very joyful. They rejoiced that now this deity of Gopalji is discovered. And then they started preparing for installation of this deity because it was a wonderful festival. Immediately, Madhavendra Puri wanted to bring all these people and he wanted to bring all the villagers to have darshan. So what he did, he told some of the strong, very strong men, please carry the deity. It was not easy for one person to carry the deity because it was a very, very heavy deity. And Madhavendra Puri and all the very, strong built villagers, they came and they started carrying this deity. They put this deity on a big stone made of throne, big throne made up of very big stone. And then to support the deity, they placed a huge stone in the back side, as you can see in this slide. So the deity was installed and it was supported nicely. And then they started making preparations for the Abhishek. All the Brahmanas of the village, they started coming because they knew that, oh, now the deity is found, the Gopal deity is found. So they came and they started bringing water pots. 9 water pots they brought from Govindakund. They bathed the deity of the Lord Gopal, and then many villagers, they started coming. All the Brahmanas started coming. 900 water pots were brought from Govindakund. And all the time, Kirtan was going on. Somebody was playing Mridanga, somebody was playing Kartal, all the ladies were singing various bhajans, various wonderful Kirtan, glorifying the Lord. And in this way, people were dancing and singing, and wonderful preparations started for offering bhoga to the Lord. There were kunds of yogurt, milk, they were all brought. People started preparing various types of food items and sweets for the festival. And Kaviraj Goswami says that actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that I cannot describe how many items were made. So villagers, they brought huge quantity of food items, and then to offer, they brought tulsi. They put tulsi over all the various food items prepared. Various types of garments and flowers and the garlands were made, and Madhavendra Puri was personally doing the Abhishek ceremony. So Prabhupada writes there in the purport that Hari Bhakti Vilas describes that the deities during Abhishek should be bathed with water, which should be mixed with yogurt and milk. And that's what happens whenever we do Abhishek in our ISKCON temples. The deities bathed with scented water and then milk and yogurt, and then Prabhupada writes, it should be accompanied by conch shell and bell and various chanting of the mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, that chanting should go on, and then Brahma Samhita should be recited. Ishvara Paramakrishna Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha. So all these things they go on. When we attend the festivals in the temple, we may not hear all these chanting of the mantras, but it goes on in the deity room. And then they sing Purush Sukta also. So this is all mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas. So that's how the devotees, they very systematically followed all the instructions mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas. So then all the various mantras were getting chanted to drive all the inauspicious omens, inauspicious influences. So then the bathing started. First, the Lord was bathed with lots of hundreds of pots of water, and then Madhavendra Puri personally massaged the deity with scented oil so that the body of the deity became very glossy. So that is very, very important. Those who get to do the personal deity service, just like we have Gopalji in our temple. So the same scented oil is put massaged over the body so that the body can become glossy. And that is the way, Lord is given all the wonderful ingredients. So first bathing was done. Then after the first bathing, oil was put. Then after the oil, Panchagavya is offered to the Lord. What is Panchagavya? The 5 things which we get from the cow: milk, yogurt, ghee, cow urine, and cow dung. They are all mixed. So a little amount of cow dung and cow urine is also put. That is called as Panchagavya. And then Panchamrit. So Panchagavya and Panchamrit both are offered. So Panchamrit means 5 kinds of nectar: yogurt, milk, ghee, honey, and sugar. So Prabhupada writes these are the major portion. The major portion of this Panchamrit also comes from the cow: yogurt, milk, and ghee. So in that purport, Prabhupada writes, from this we can understand that how important mother cow is. That in all the preparations of the Abhishek, cow, various ingredients we get from the cow is obtained and it is offered to the Lord. So after this, Mahasnan was performed. So first, Gopal Deity was bathed with 9 pots, then 100 pots, then body was massaged, and then Panchagavya and Panchamrit was offered. And again, now Mahasnan is being offered. So in that Mahasnan, again, hundreds of pots of water were offered. Then again, the deity was massaged with scented oil. So twice, second time, the deity is being massaged with scented oil. And then ultimately in the end also, the last snan was done, in which the Lord was again offered, bathing with scented water. So Prabhupada again quotes from Saraswati Thakur's commentary on Hari Bhakti Vilas, in that he says that whenever the Abhishek is performed, various types of powders are mixed, and they are also offered to the Lord with the help of a tail of a cow. So those of you who have attended the Abhishek in the temple, at the end of the Abhishek, there is some powder which is thrown, which is, sprinkled on the deities. What is that powder? So that is basically called as avata. So the avata is the banana powder mixed with rice powder. And then Prabhupada writes, it has also barley powder, wheat powder, vermilion, and urad dal powder. All these things are mixed, and that is sprinkled on the deity. so that it creates a very, very nice finish. The deity's body becomes very, very smooth. All the impurities which was there, accumulated because Lord was not being worshipped. He was in the jungle, in the bushes. It was all removed. And then Prabhupada writes, the oil which is smeared on the body of the Lord should be scented. So that is how the devotees always want to offer scented oil and various wonderful articles to the Lord. It happened that, one time it is there in Caitanya Caritāmrta mentioned that Jagadananda Pandit, once he went and brought scented oil. And he said, "Oh my Lord, oh Mahaprabhu, I have brought this scented oil. Please apply I want to apply this on your body." Mahaprabhu said, "I am sannyasi. If I'll apply this and I'll move out in the city, in the town of Jagannath Puri, people will, criticize me what type of sannyasi he is." And he said, "You offer it to Jagannath." And Jagadananda Pandit, he became so angry. He broke that pot of scented oil and he went and started fasting. That's how the devotees are. They wanted to give all the luxury to the Lord. And the Lord, as a sannyasi, he was always in dilemma. What to do, what not to do. One time, Gurudas, he brought a bottle of very costly scented oil and he offered to Prabhupada. He said, "Prabhupada, this is the best scented oil." And he thought that maybe Prabhupada will, put few drops and he would put on his head. He said, "Prabhupada, this is very good for head. It keeps the head cool." Prabhupada, he emptied the entire bottle and started putting on the head and rubbing on the head. And after rubbing for some time, he said, "In Kolkata, it is better." So Gurudas became so, somehow shocked. But then he realized that Srila Prabhupada could sense that I had some pride. I have brought this. And Prabhupada smashed my pride. Prabhupada, so Kaviraj Goswami continues that Prabhupada writes in the purport, to bathe the deity of the Lord in the end, at least 24 gallons of water should be poured on the body of the Lord. After the body was cleansed completely, massaged with the oil, the Lord was now dressed nicely with very nice garments. And then sandalwood pulp and tulasi and all the wonderful fragrant garlands, flower garlands were offered to the Lord. And after everything is done, Lord is now ready. Then the devotees started getting, huge bhoga offerings. Bhoga offerings started. So after that, as the bhoga offering is being brought, Arati is starting. So after the first bathing ceremony, first the incense is offered and then lamps were offered and then all kinds of food is offered to the deity. So Kaviraj Goswami says, Suvasita jala nava patre samarpila achmana diya se tambula nivedila. So now, as the bhoga is being offered, Suvasita jal, first the scented water is offered to the deity, and then before the bhoga is offered, Lord is offered achman. Achman is clove water to give freshness to the mouth of the Lord. That is what is always done when we offer bhoga to the Lord. First arghyam, then padyam, then achmaniam, and then the bhoga is offered. And then again in the end, after bhoga is offered, offering is done, again achman. So then after achman is done, then naivedya samarpila. Naivedya means the bhoga. And then in the end, tambul is offered, the pan is offered. So after the bhoga offering is done, beautiful description of wonderful bhoga is described. Aratrik kori koila bahutastavan dandavat kori koila atma samarpana. So then Madhavendra Puri offered the Aarti ceremony. Dhupa, Deepa, Arghya, Vastra, Pushpa, everything is offered. And then everybody who was assembled, all the Brahmanas, they started offering beautiful prayers to the Lord. Gopal appeared first time after so many hundreds of years. So then everybody fell down and offered obeisances. Dandavat kari koila atma samarpan. And then, as soon as the news spread, although previously there was no telephone or WhatsApp or email, but still the news would spread much faster than today. Immediately, within few hours, people all over the neighboring villages, they came to know that Gopal is now found and he is installed on the top of the Govardhan hill. Immediately, all the villagers, they started getting whatever stock they had. They didn't keep something for them. Whatever stock of rice and dal and wheat and whatever ingredients they had, they started getting everything for the pleasure of the Lord, for offering to the Lord. Immediately, within some time, entire surface around the deity was filled with grains of rice, filled with various types of bhoga offerings, various types of dal, chapati, sabji, sweets, and then all the rice was brought, all the grains were brought. So some people, they brought grains and others, they started getting all the cooked materials also. But Madhavendra Puri, he had personally arranged for 10 brahmanas to cook chapatis, to cook food grains. And 5 brahmanas, they were cooking sabji, dry sabji and wet sabji, liquid sabji. So then, and some among these sabjis, vegetable preparations, there were different types of spinach and the fruits and the roots and various types of vada and vadi. Chakravarti Kaviraj Goswami is writing all that. Various types of vada is offered and vadi is offered. And in this way, so many different kinds of foods were prepared. 5 to 7 brahmanas were just making chapatis. And they were making stacks and stacks of chapatis. So in the center, as you can see in this picture closely, if you see, in the center, there's a huge mountain of rice. And on the side of all that mountain, there are stacks of rice, stacks of chapati. And every chapati is covered with ghee. And around chapatis, there were drone of vegetables, dal, and the cooked rice, it was placed on palash leaves, big leaves of palash. The palash leaves were kept on thin cotton cloth, and then rice was put there. So in between rice mountain and then chapati stacks, and then around all the chapati stacks, there were different types of dal and vegetables and pots of yogurt, milk, and there is a sweet called shikharini. So Kaviraj Goswami writes all that. And sweet rice was also there, creams were there. So in this way, a big Annakut ceremony was performed for the pleasure of Gopalji. And that was just by one village. And Madhavendra Puri Goswami, he personally offered everything to Gopal. And Lord Gopal, he ate everything. Because he was so hungry, he had not eaten for so long. So he ate everything. But something interesting happened. Yadyapi Gopal sab anna vyanjana khaila tara hasta sparshe puna temani hoila. Although Gopal ate all the items, but still the Lord can eat through his vision. Temani hoila. It remained as it is. It didn't decrease at all. Prabhupada in the purport writes in detail about this incidents. He says that atheists cannot understand how Lord can eat like this. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. Lord can eat through any of his senses. Lord doesn't have to eat like we eat. Actually, he just accepts the love and devotion with which food is offered, bhoga is offered. Prabhupada writes that actually the food which is offered to Krishna is qualitatively as good as Krishna. Because Krishna is avyaya, inexhaustible. Similarly, the food, the bhoga, prasad is also inexhaustible, never gets exhausted. When you offer something to the Lord, the food never decreases. In the previous chapter also we heard that how when Mahaprabhu was offered by all the various items to by Advaitacharya, the word used was badhaila. So Advaitacharya divided the food item into 3 plates, one for Jagannath, one for Nityanand Prabhu, one for Caitanya Mahaprabhu. The term used is badhaila. Although the food was divided, but it was badhaila. It increased. And Prabhupada writes there in the purport that in Krishna consciousness, there is no reduction. There is no nothing, there is no deficit, there is no scarcity. When something is offered for the pleasure of the Lord, the food increases. Lakshmi shows mercy when Lakshmi is used in service of Narayan. So Prabhupada writes, Krishna is transcendental, he is avyaya, and therefore the food which is offered to the Lord also becomes transcendental, avyaya. And then Prabhupada writes, this philosophy cannot be understood by contaminated senses. Ata Sri Krishna Namadi no bhavid grahyam indriyai sevon mukhe jihvado swayameva spuratyadaho. Shri Krishna Nama Adi, Nama Rupa Guna Lila, Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriya, you cannot accept, you cannot understand, you cannot perceive with senses. Indriya. Because Lord is Adhokshaja, you cannot perceive the Lord by senses. How to perceive then? Sevon Mukhehi Jihva Ado. Service to the Lord begins by engaging the tongue in the service of the Lord. And there are 2 functions of the tongue, eating or tasting and speaking. So if we engage these 2 functions in service of the Lord, Sevon Mukhehi Jihva Ado. Ado means in the beginning. Swayameva Spuratyadaha. So the newer and newer mellows are revealed. Iha Anubhava Kaila Madhava Gosai Tara Thai Gopalera Lukanna Chuai. Nobody could understand this. Only one person could see this. That is Madhava Gosai. Iha Anubhava Kaila, Madhavendra Puri perceived because he was actually transcendental. He could understand that Lord Gopal has eaten all that. Iha Anubhava Kaila Shri Madhava Gosai. And Tarathai Gopalera Lukana Kichunai. So nobody could understand this, but Madhavendra Puri understood. And Kaviraj Goswami says that nothing remains a secret to the devotees of the Lord. So Lord is actually purchased by devotees. You cannot hide anything from devotees of the Lord. Lord cannot hide anything. It comes in the Bhagavatam also. When the gopis, they were with Krishna and Krishna wanted to make some fun and tease the gopis, he disappeared. And then he's standing as Chaturbhuj, Vishnu Rupa. All the gopis come and they offer their prayers and then they ask, where is Krishna? And then he points to another direction and they all went. Radharani comes. And then when Radharani comes, Krishna as Vishnu could not maintain his 2 arms. So nothing can be hidden from devotees. Lord himself, who is Supreme Lord, who is the controller of everyone, Madhvayad Bhati Vatoyam, Suryastapati Madhvayad, Varshati Indro, Dahati Agni, Mrityuscharati Madhvayat. That Supreme Lord who controls everything, he is controlled by devotees. He cannot do anything in front of devotees. All the moves are revealed. So Tarathai Gopalera Lukana Kichunai. And then Kaviraj Goswami speaks, Ek din udyogya iche mahotsav kaila, Gopala prabhavere anerna janila. Ek din udyoge. In just one day, such a wonderful festival was organized. Nobody could understand how this is happening. Aichya Mahotsav, all this is happening in one day. In the morning, Madhavendra Puri took all the villagers and found the deity of Gopal, placed him on the top of Govardhan Hill, and bathed the deity first with 100 pots, then massaged, then again second bathing, Panchagavya, Panchamrita, and then again massaged, again Mahasnan, and then Arti and Bhoga, and then all the news has already spread all over the Vrindavan. And the villagers started coming and they started preparing so many different preparations. Annakut was performed. Ek din udyoge aiche mahotsav kaila, Gopala prabhavere nirna janila. Nobody could understand. All this was accomplished by the potency of Gopal. Prabhupada writes a very wonderful purport here. Krishna consciousness movement has spread all over the world in just 5 years, in short time, Prabhupada writes, within 5 years. And mundane people are very much astonished at this. When Srila Prabhupada, he came back to India, one businessman, he came to meet and he said, Swamiji, ye sab aapne kaise kiya? He was talking in Hindi. So he was thinking maybe Swamiji was earlier a businessman. Maybe he knew some business strategy. Otherwise, he went with 40 rupees and he came back with 40 crores. So asking, kaise kiya Swamiji? Prabhupada said, मैं अमेरिका गया, पेड़ के नीचे बैठा, कीर्तन किया और सब हो गया. नहीं स्वामी जी, और क्या किया? प्रभुपाद said, और वही, और कुछ नहीं किया, खाली कीर्तन किया, सब हो गया. और ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है स्वामी जी? He was not able to understand. How is this possible? खाली कीर्तन करने से हो गया? Such a big organization, अपने आप. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tar Pravartan. He was empowered by Krishna. Ek din udyogi aiche mahotsav kaila, Gopala prabhaveriya nirna janila. Prabhupada writes, by the grace of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, everything is possible. And then Prabhupada says, why does Krishna needs 5 years? If he wants, he can do in 5 days. That's all. What is big thing for him? 5 days is, Prabhupada writes, 5 days, the fame of Krishna can spread like wildfire. How long it takes for the wildfire to spread? Few minutes. Prabhupada quotes, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijaya Dhuti Dhruva Niti Matir Mama. So in the battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna, there were so many powerful fighters than him. Bhishma, Drona, Kripa. How could Arjuna defeat all of them? Only because Krishna was there. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. Wherever Krishna is there, beauty, wealth, victory, determination, and morality. It is guaranteed. And then Prabhupada writes, if the preachers of our Krishna consciousness movement are very sincere devotees of Krishna, Krishna will be always with them, and because he is very kind and favorable to his devotees. So only thing which is lacking is sincere devotion service. Krishna is ready to give himself. But when he sees that devotees are sincere, then he becomes so very inclined to show mercy. Sincerity is the key to attract Krishna's mercy. And sincerity means doing, doing the same thing regularly with without any ulterior motive. Anya abhilashita shunya. No other motive. Anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. Prabhupada writes, Krishna consciousness movement will emerge victorious if we but remain sincere devotees of the Lord. So only one thing is required, sincerity. If we are just sincere, just is a big word. Just sincere is a big word. It is not so easy to keep on doing the same thing, same time, same place, always being there. Just like some devotees, those who are in temple, they are there at the same place for Mangalarti, for Japa, they sit at the same place, for Guru Puja, they are at the same place, for Bhagavatam, they are at the same place year after year. Consistent, sincere, not just externally being there, but being in prayerful mood. That is also important. Prabhupada writes, if you are just sincere devotee of the Lord and serve the Lord according to the predecessors, that is the Shadu Goswamis, and for sure, Lord's mercy will come. And then Prabhupada writes, as devotees, we should always stay with the devotees. Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Janame Janame Hoy Eya Vilash. So nobody should think that I can practice bhakti alone. I don't need all these devotees. Prabhupada writes, within the society, we must try to serve the predecessors by preaching. So Prabhupada always, he wants that devotee should preach. That's the theme of Caitanya Caritāmrta, and that comes many times in Bhagavatam. In the first canto, Narad Muni, after telling Vyasdev some sutra of devotional service, he says, now preach. Brahma tells the same to Narad Muni in the second canto, and it says, now preach. Twameva vipuli kuru. So preaching is ingrained in a devotee. That's a natural outcome of a heart which is full of mercy of the Lord. A person who has received the mercy of the Lord, grace of the Lord, naturally wants to give it to others. It is like a glass, you keep on pouring nectar. At some point of time, it is full and then it is overflowing. That overflowing of nectar is preaching. Prabhupada writes, within the society, we must try to serve the predecessors by preaching Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cult and spreading his name and fame all over the world. If we attempt this seriously within the society, it will be successfully done. There is no question of estimating how this will happen in the mundane sense, but without a doubt, it happens by the grace of Krishna. It is impossible to understand how Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, with nothing, with no one to help him, on the way he had 2 heart attacks. He didn't know whether he'll get something to eat or not. He went on to establish a worldwide society. In the mundane sense, it is impossible. But it is all possible by the grace of the Lord. Nothing is possible without the mercy of the Lord. In fact, Sureshwar Prabhu, one of the Prabhupada disciples, he keeps traveling and he keeps giving a seminar, founder Acharya, establishing the supremacy, the supreme position of Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON as a founder Acharya. And in that he tells that when Srila Prabhupada went to America, that time was such a crucial time. So many revolutions were happening at that time. First, there was a economic revolution. Then, first of all, social revolution. There were so many people, they were rejecting the social culture there and becoming hippies. That that was the time, 1960 to 65, social revolution. Political revolution was happening. Before 1965, from First World War to 1965, Africans and Asians were not allowed immigration in America. But in 1965, exactly, this rule was changed. How is this possible? At that same year, when Srila Prabhupada he embarked, he wanted to travel and he got the visa. There was a religious revolution also happening. Previously, it was said that only Jesus is the way to liberation. But then in 1965, they changed the law. The Pope said that no, there are other religions also by which we can connect to God. Industrial revolution happened. It was the age of aircrafts, airplanes, assisting Prabhupada traveling all over the world. How is this possible? All these are not an ordinary things. It was all the grace of Lord Krishna. So how ISKCON has spread mundane calculation, one cannot understand because it is all एक दिन उद्योगे ओइछे महोत्सव कोइला गोपाल प्रभावेर ei अन्यर न जानila. It is all Gopal Prabhav. It is all mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, how it is possible to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world for an old man at the age of 70 with no health, with 2 heart attacks in just 12 years? That was an impossible job. Writing so many books, rarely sleeping. Nobody can handle all that. It was all Krishna Shakti. So after this wonderful festival was done, then Madhavendra Puri offered Gopal again clove water, washed his mouth, and then gave him pan, betel nuts. And as Madhavendra Puri is offering mantras and offering all these, all the devotees, they are chanting Jai, Jai. They are so very happy. And then Madhavendra Puri, he arranged for a beautiful new cot and a bed sheet and invited the Lord to take rest. A temporary structure was made around the deity with straw mattress, and the bed was put, and it was a temporary temple structure created. After the Lord was put to rest, Madhavendra Puri told all the Brahmanas. He gathered all the Brahmanas, and he said, "Please distribute food. Please feed everyone sumptuously." So all the Brahmanas were given that service of feeding everyone. That was the culture. And they all started serving. Said, all the devotees, all the people, all from children to old people, everyone should be given prasad. The same way when Krishna did Govardhan lila, after all the bhoga was offered, Govardhan accepted, and then Krishna told everyone, now feed everyone. He told all the Brahmanas, his father, feed everyone. Nobody should go hungry. So all the Brahmanas, they came, and then they were fed along with their wives, and then all they started distributing food to prasad to all the devotees there. And then those who took prasad included not just people from that village, Govardhan, people from other villages also started coming. They also started taking food, prasad, because wherever prasad distribution is there, somehow people manifest from nowhere. It is a common, occurrence. It is always the case. So we have experienced this many times, on the festival day, even if it is a weekday, somehow thousands of people they come for prasad. So that is the power of prasad. And everybody was really astonished seeing the influence of Madhavendra Puri. देखिया पुरीर प्रभाव लोके चमत्कार पूर्व अन्न कूटये न होइला साक्षात्कार. Everybody could remember, wow, this is the same way Krishna performed Annakut for Govardhan. The same, exact same description they could see when Madhavendra Puri was offering. So Prabhupada in the purport, he writes a detail of 10th canto, how Krishna, he made the entire Annakut with all the grains, rice and dal and all the chapati and various foodstuffs and sweetmeats and everything. So Prabhupada quotes all the verses from Bhagavatam. Then, now the deity is installed. Madhavendra Puri has to make sure that the deity worship continues nicely. So he initiated Brahmanas into Vaishnavism and engaged them in service. Again, Prabhupada writes a detailed purport about how a Brahmana means a qualified Brahmana. Shat karma nipuno pro mantra tantra visharadaha. A Brahmana should be expert in mantra and tantra. Prabhupada writes, there are 6 occupations of a Brahmana. Pathan, Pathan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. Brahmana teaches and he learns scriptures and he does yajna and he makes other perform yajna. He accepts charity and then he distributes also whatever he gets. And then Prabhupada writes that of all the Brahmanas, if somebody wants to offer worship to the deities, that Brahmana should be initiated into Vaishnavism. Only a Vaishnava can offer worship to the deity of the Lord. So therefore, Brahmana is higher than, a Vaishnava is higher than a Brahmana. Brahmananam sahasrebhya satrayaji vishishyate, satrayaji sahasrebhya sarva vedanta paraga, sarva vedanta vitkotya vishnu bhakta vishishyate, Vaishnavanam sahasrebhya ekantyeko vishishyate. Out of thousands of Brahmanas, one who knows yajna, how to perform yajna, he is the supreme. Out of thousands who know how to perform yajna, one who knows Vedanta, Sarva Vedanta Paraga, he is the best. Out of thousands who know Vedanta, Vishnu Bhakta is the best. And out of thousands of Vishnu Bhaktas, somebody may actually know Krishna in truth. So therefore, Vaishnava is way beyond Brahman. So Prabhupada writes that a Vaishnava should be engaged in serving the deity of the Lord from 4 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. in the evening at night. Starting from Mangala Arati, Shayan Darshan. And then Prabhupada writes there should be lots of offerings, 6 types of offerings should be done daily. And that's what happens, is the standard Prabhupada has set in all the temples in ISKCON. Starting from 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning, Mangala Arati. And before that is the first offering at 4:30 in our temple. First offering is done. And then Mangala Arati starts at 5 o'clock and then 5 to 5:30. Then darshan closes. Then the Lord is dressed beautifully. And then again at 7:30, next offering. Then darshan opens at 7:45. Then Shringar darshan, then Guru Puja. And then again darshan closes at 9:30, second offering, a third offering. Then again darshan opens, again Aarti at 10 o'clock. Again 11:50 darshan closes. And then Raj Bhog is offered to the Lord. Again 12:30, Raj Bhog Aarti, again offering, again Aarti. Then Lord is put to rest. And then Lord is, awake. He is woken up again at 3:50 in the evening. Then again, Vaikalik Bhog is offered. Fruits are offered, various types of fruits and rabdi. And then 4:30 darshan opens, again Aarti. Again, 6:25, darshan closes. And then again, offering, Sandhya Bhog. Then 7 o'clock again, Gaur Aarti, Sandhya Aarti. And then it goes on. Then again, darshan closes, Lord is dressed, and again, Shayan darshan. That's how, Prabhupada has set wonderful standards. One devotee was telling that, one person was telling, businessman, he said, I have traveled all over ISKCON, all over the world, and such wonderful precision and punctuality. Wherever I go, 4:30 conch blows, and 4:55 again conch blows, because most of the temples in the world in ISKCON, Mangalarti starts at 4:30. Such precision. Prabhupada would say that deity worship means two things: punctuality and cleanliness. So Prabhupada writes about all that. And then he says, Prabhupada writes, our Madhva Sampradaya belongs to the disciplic succession of Madhavendra Puri. So then after this, the Lord was put to rest. Gopalji was put to rest. And then again, after some time, because it was afternoon time, so Lord was put to rest. Again, Lord was awakened at the end of the day. Again, some bhoga was offered, water was offered. And then the news has spread now all over the place. Gopal prakata hoila deshe shabda hoila. Asha pasha gramera loka dekhite aila. Gopal has appeared. And everyone knew that Gopal has appeared throughout the country. आस पास सब लोग आ गए. And then, so now only Govardhan village people, the Brajvasis, they offered Annakut. All the villagers of the nearby villages, they came and said, do you also want to do Annakut? So Madhavendra Puri, they approached Madhavendra Puri, said, please, sabka booking ho raha hai. Everyone wants to offer Annakut. So all the days are booked. Okay, this day, this village will offer Annakut. This day, other village will offer Annakut. And Madhavendra Puri is such a Virakta sannyasi, such a wonderful devotee. He is just engaged throughout the day serving. He didn't eat anything. He was just absorbed. Sometimes, we have experienced when we are so absorbed in service, we don't even realize that time is passing, we have to do service. In this way, night appeared. Madhavendra Puri took little milk and rested. Next day again, morning began, the seva began, and all the devotees from the villages, nearby villages, they started coming and preparing bhoga and offering to the Lord. Anna ghrita dadhi dugdha grameyat chila gopalera gelokvaniya dharila. And it is so wonderful. The villagers, they were not getting little bit. Whatever they had, yat chila, gramera yat chila, jitna bhi hai gaon mein sab leke aa rahe. Anna, घृत, dahi, dugdha. Because they knew when we offer to the Lord, it is badhaila, it will increase. Prabhupada writes in the purport that these four things, anna, घृत, dahi, and dugdha, they are the basis of all food. Grains, anna, घृत, ghee, curd, and milk. Prabhupada said thousands of preparations can be made by these four things. We don't have to take anything else. All these people, they are, eating all wrong things, or killing animals. Prabhupada says this is not required. Here, these Brajvasis are telling they're offering all these. Prabhupada says the food offered to the Gopal in Annakut contained only these ingredients: grains, vegetable. Prabhupada writes, vegetables and fruits are subsidiary. But fruits, grains, ghee, curd, and milk, they are bases. So, Gopalji is offered all these 5 types of items. But demoniac people, they are attracted to all the other types of food. But perfection of human civilization means the center should be Krishna. And when center is Krishna, then automatically people will worship and offer what Krishna wants. Patra pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Prabhupada quotes that. And then Prabhupada writes that, this is the difference between East and the West. You can see in the India, the culture in this village was, they brought everything, whatever they had, they brought it. They didn't come to take something, they came to give everything. That was the culture. They would not just come to accept prasad, they came to offer everything to Krishna. And then next day, same Annakut ceremony was again offered. So that's the way this wonderful Annakut was going on. So we'll stop here. We'll continue from verse number 95. Hare Krishna. Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Madhavendra Puripad ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.